Good evening. This is Tuesday, February 18th meeting of the Community Preservation Act Committee. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded and, is it? Yes, oh, wow. And some of the attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Anything you decide to screen share on your computer or anything you broadcast will be captured and recorded. I am Tim Wheeler, Chair of the Community Preservation Act Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons are present and can hear me prior to me calling the meeting to order. Oh, I haven't called the meeting to order yet then. Caroline,
Here.
Carolyn, MJ,
Oh, I should
Here.
change my name.
Elaine,
Here.
and
Can you hear
Julie.
me? Yeah.
Yes,
Here.
and I'm here as well. The Community Preservation Act Committee members, when I call you, and oh, we already done that. With a quorum of the committee present, I will call the meeting to order at 7:32. The open meeting of the Community Preservation Act Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. Specific information and guidelines for the remote participation by members of the public can be found on the Town of Berlin website. The governor's order suspends the requirement of open meeting law to have all meetings held at a publicly accessible physical location and allows and encourages us to participate remotely. For this meeting, the CPAC is using the Zoom platform as posted on the agenda, which includes links for the public to join the meeting. Please speak clearly so accurate minutes are recorded. Each vote in the meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. Thank you.
Nice job.
Yeah.
I listened to what Tom said and I copied it, so it's in my handwriting. So sometimes I abbreviate it and I look at it now and I say, what did that mean? Okay, so minutes from the meeting of February 2nd. We have a motion to accept those
I
I'll
move
make a
to
motion.
accept.
in a second.
I'll second.
Very good. Roll call vote on that. Any additions or corrections before we take the vote?
Elaine got in touch with me I had missed her name in the list of attendees, so I have corrected that.
Very good. Anything else? All right, roll call vote then. Carolyn,
Aye.
MJ,
Aye.
Elaine,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
and Tim, I'll vote aye. That's unanimous. Thank you. Okay, June and I have chatted a little bit since we talked to Stuart, and she's gotten in touch with the state, and she's still waiting to hear from some folks to get specific language that she's pleased with. So the drafts that we sent are the ones we're gonna vote on. And if we need to modify the language, that's something that we can just do with the selectmen's blessing as we proceed. But in essence, for fiscal 21, we're not doing anything other than putting 10% of the funds that we collected into each one of the specific reserves: historic, open space, and housing. And that's all we'll do. The rest of the money will remain in the general Community Preservation Act Fund. For 2022, we're going to estimate, and that's what June is trying to decide how to do appropriately, because when she's thought about how to forecast what the revenue would be, she's not entirely pleased with the formula that she's trying to generate yet. So she's still going to work on that some more. Stuart said, use the figure for the state match that we had last year. So essentially be 197 or whatever it was. So we'll just continue that into this next 2022 budget.
So does the language say for FY 2022, we're estimating this much? So in the warrant item, it is stated that it's an estimate.
Right.
Um,
And because there's no final figure. I mean, it's a forecast into the future.
Yeah, it's just interesting that we can't just say 10%, 10%, 10%. That we have to actually estimate dollars.
Yeah, that, for some reason, that's the template
Way
that the
they do
state
it.
wants us to continue to use, so.
Yeah,
I mean, it's, when you think about any budget, when we put a budget together for 2022 for the town in general, we're not certain what the revenues are going to be across the
Sure.
board. We're anticipating revenues at a certain level because of our past experience and what the levy limits, what the tax rate's going to be and stuff.
sure.
But that obviously it fluctuates, and as a result, you end up with all of a sudden you switch down there and,
I know Eloise has her hand up.
oh, Eloise, let's let her talk.
Oh, greetings. The reason you need a specific amount is because when I do the recapitulation sheet, say that one 3 times, you have to have specific numbers. And from the recap sheet, that's where you make your tax rate.
Okay,
But I have to document every penny that's voted at town meeting.
good.
Oh, I see.
That helps.
So, and I learned what the recap sheet means.
Yeah, that's where we have to, it's 4 pages. The last page is I have to do every penny that has been voted on at every town meeting since the last one. So if we had 1 annual and 3 specials, they would have to be included up until the next time you do a recap, and then you do any town meetings.
So does the estimate ever get adjusted to actual, or it's always
I
just?
put it into actual. That's why at the town meeting, you have to have an actual number. At town meeting casts it into stone.
So I guess that's interesting because we don't actually know what the actual numbers will be.
No, but that's why you need to be nice to June so that she'll keep track of it. And whatever you don't do one year, you can pick it up probably the next year because
I see.
it's a
Yeah.
dedicated fund.
Stuart said that there are several things that he said. One is that some towns are very conservative about what they estimate, and as a result, they fall within the realistic confines of what actually would be generated.
Hmm.
The other thing that some towns do is they don't take any money from the season coming up, the tax year coming up. They only take money from the year before that they know.
So it's that they have an actual amount.
Right.
Right. And we may get to a point where we've built up a reserve and we'd feel comfortable about going that way, which would be far easier for June, I would think. We can talk to her about that. But in this early stage, it's a little more difficult to do that.
Sure.
But he said some towns actually they don't use anything from the projected. They only use what they've already got. And then as a result, they know what that is and they can just lock it in.
Yeah, that just makes more sense to me. It's, because like Eloise said, at town meeting, it's locked in stone. So if we estimate $10, all we get to spend is $10, even if we got $1 million. Right?
Yeah, but that's what we tried to do on the regional school committee. We waited for the bus transportation amount for 1 year, and then that was the basis of the next year's. So we already had it in hand, because what was terrible is in the middle of, come December, the state would decide to cut it. And if you predicated your budget on receiving it, you're in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
So we always found it best to be cash in hand.
So, and we can gradually move, I mean, unfortunately, you're talking about living without $500,000. I mean, if we piecemeal that within several cycles, we could get to a point where we could simply say, we're going to be very frugal, we're going to be cautious. And then if you really had a big project, you could change that strategy and dip into the estimated as well as what you had already on hand.
Right.
You know, if conservation had some big land acquisition that they wanted to try to go after, or housing had some big housing project that they wanted to participate in. So what we're doing is we're just going to vote on submitting those two articles to those two draft articles to the selectmen for next Monday's deadline for the warrant closing, and then we'll manipulate those as needed. So if we can have a motion to go ahead and submit those, that would be great.
So moved.
And a second?
A second.
Perfect. And we'll do a roll call vote on this. So this is to vote to submit to the selectmen the two draft articles, one for 2021 and one for 2022. That could be modified going forward. So MJ
Aye.
and Elaine,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
are you making lemonade?
No, I thought it was actually a clementine. I was gonna eat it and then I realized it's a lemon.
I'd still eat it if it were me.
So,
I like lemons.
oh no, well,
Carolyn
Aye.
and Tim is aye, so that's unanimous, so we're all set.
perfect.
So good. I mean, unless somebody's got something else that's really important to chat about, we can stop right here.
I just
I've
have
got-
one thing.
Go ahead, Elaine.
I'm sorry. We're down to 3 members on the Historical Commission, and our goal was to get it up to 7. We've lost Karen Chandler.
Mhm.
And I don't know if anybody, I don't get to see many people from town, okay? And I don't have kids in school, and, so we've lost a lot of old connections. And we have to get the word out there somehow,
Okay.
that we need more members for the commission.
Well, that's true of Housing Partnership too. And I think because of Julie's great success in attracting more members for recreation, now that she's got money to spend,
Yeah.
um, maybe that's going to be, I would think that would be true of
think so.
historical. I mean, there's a lot of projects that you guys can work on.
Right.
starting-
We've got stuff going right now. I mean, we're moving forward with the Bullard House.
Yeah, but when you think
Right.
about the money that you're going to have available, even if it's just that 10% to start with, my heavens.
Right.
So, but,
Yep.
yeah, we'll all,
Elaine, if you want to draft something, I can post it on Berlin Neighbors Connect for you on Facebook if
I
you'd like.
I think Mary's gonna do that out of the
Okay.
selectman's office.
Okay,
I'm not
that's
sure.
fine.
That was the last, I heard, 'cause I talked with Margaret about it and, try to get as many people and get the word going.
good.
Yeah.
I'm going through what everybody's given us in regard to the preservation plan and just trying to create a flow with the language that's consistent in terms of sections and stuff. And I should have something to send around middle of the next week for everybody. I don't really want to set the next date for a meeting because Carolyn, you're going away and James is not here tonight. So we'll do a little poll later on, but because we've got these articles on the warrant, we're set with that deadline. And the next really important thing is just to keep working on the plan. But what I'll do is send around that draft. People can look at that and then maybe we can get together first part of March or something like that.
Sounds good.
Great.
Lemonade. I agree. All right, so anything else? We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second,
all right. And we have to do a roll call on this. MJ,
aye.
Elaine,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Carolyn,
Aye.
Tim, I.